2019 WRX STI Bumper, and it's going on the Forester. Hello guys, today we got another full day of working on our Subaru project car, our XTI concept Forester, and today we're going to be doing something cool. But before that, before I show you what we're going to be doing today, let me show you the progress we've made with the car so far. As you can see, we assembled it. We fixed the collision damage, everything is welded and everything else. We test fitted the panels. So now it's time for this. Now I know what you're thinking. What's a WRX bumper doing with the Forester? Well, we're gonna put it on the Forester. What we're gonna do, we're gonna cut out the bottom of this WRX. This actually came from a 2019 WRX STI, I believe. So it's the newer generation with the big mouth. So we're going to cut the bottom section of this bumper out, and we're going to graft it on the Forester bumper. We're not going to graft it onto the XT bumper. We specifically for this project, we bought the base model bumper. So we're going to graft the bottom of this WRX bumper to the top of a base Forester bumper. So let's get to it. So the easiest way to do this is to do this grafting process right on the car. So we install the base bumper on the car. It fits just like the XT bumper. There's really no difference. And we're gonna start with trimming the top of this bumper. We're gonna trim the whole top. And we're gonna continue trimming it till we have enough material and till we have a good fitment over this bumper, at which time we'll make the cuts on this bumper directly. So unfortunately we can't test fit this bumper over this bumper because simply we need to cut out a hole for this stuff to go into. We made some progress on the bumper. We were able to fit the lower section of the WRX bumper to the upper section of the Forester bumper. It did take a lot of cutting and fine-tuning, and we still have a lot of cutting and fine-tuning left to go. However, we were able to test fit it, so let me show you that. So this is just a test fit. This is not the final thing, but so far so good. I'm kind of surprised the actual tow hook lines up. Even the crash beam, the bumper support fits into this little protrusion in the WRX bumper. So, you know, it's coming along little by little. We still have a ways to go before we start grafting this bumper into this bumper, but There's some things to button up first, like for instance this line that goes from the fender into the stock bumper. You see the WRX doesn't have this line, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to replicate it. So in order to do that, we're gonna have to chop up the WRX bumper a little more before we can get this line. It fades somewhere here, and to be honest with you, the WRX bumper kind of protrudes out, so it doesn't need to go any further than maybe a couple of inches, you know, before it fades into the bumper. So again, like little stuff like this we have to take care of. We're probably gonna take it off and put it back on 1,000 more times before we're ready to merge them permanently. So let's get to it. So we ran into a bit of a snag with the bumper. Let me show you. As you can see, it fits over the existing bumper very well on the sides. Let's see, all the way. But when you get to the upper, the center of the bumper, it just doesn't curve around. This is more flat, where this has this rounded shape. You can see same thing on the other side. But the side fitment is good. And by the way, these little bolts and nuts are just temporary till we're ready to permanently merge the two bumpers. For now, this is just temporary. So we have two possible ways we can deal with this problem. Let me show you one of them. We can simply heat up this bumper, the Forster bumper, and stretch it so that it covers this gap. The other way we can do it is a little bit more messy, where we simply undo these bolts and push the whole bumper back. Now, that would create some issues because we're using the lip. Let me show you. Let's see if you can get this angle. We're using the lip from the lower part of the WRX bumper, so cutting this short will create additional problems. So I don't think we're going to go that route. Also, cutting it down the center is also not ideal. I want to kind of limit the cutting, so we're going to go with option A, and that's just to try to stretch this bumper with a little bit of heat and force. So we ran into another issue. It seems like stretching the plastic by hand may not be the best idea. The problem is it does stretch, but it might create ripples. So I came up with an idea. We're gonna fabricate a little mold of that straight and curvy area and use that out of this 2x4 to stretch the upper bumper. Kind of became a woodworking project now. Time to see if our little idea is a success or not. So we did some off-camera work yesterday, trying to stretch the two bumpers together. I kind of assumed that since the WRX and the Forester is very close in width, the bumpers would be, identical and they would fit snugly over each other. But what I realized, the WRX bumper is a little more curvy, so that presented a little bit of a problem. So let me show you. Here she is. The Forester bumper was really having a hard time stretching to accommodate the length gap in the middle. I finally decided that the option B was the best option all along. I just wanted to avoid doing a lot of extra cutting, but I guess it took some aggravation to come to that realization. So we ended up stretching the WRX bumper from center to wrap around the Forester bumper. Now, although the center fitment is good, as you can see, we do have to deal with about a ½ inch overlap on each corner. The only way to remedy this problem is to take a ½ inch out of each side of the WRX bumper and then just plastic weld the whole thing together. point, we managed to take about ½ inch off both sides and plastic weld these end caps. As you can see, it's nice and smooth as if nothing ever happened. So at this moment, we're ready to bond the lower portion of the WRX bumper to the upper portion of the Forester bumper. For this, we're going to use a 3M panel bond. So I know it doesn't look pretty at the moment, but after some body work, it's going to look as good as new. So we have the lower portion, the WRX bumper, panel bonded to the upper Forester bumper, and we're gonna let it sit for a day, so it can cure, and then pick it up in the next episode where we're gonna do some body work, and maybe we will even start on the hood. So see you soon.